There's something oddly satisfying about taking back control of your garden, especially when tiny invaders threaten the beauty you've worked so hard to create. This morning, the mission was clear: budworms were back, and they were not getting a free meal from our supertunias and superbells. The garden may be blooming, but beneath the surface, there's a battle happening. Today, I take you along for the full behind-the-scenes journey of how we protect our blooms organically, prep for harvest, and check in on our pumpkins and corn that have their own story to tell. It starts with preparation. In our garden, a small handheld sprayer just doesn't cut it anymore. With hundreds of plants, we've upgraded to a 25-gallon battery-powered sprayer, an absolute game-changer. No more manual pumping. The setup is simple but powerful. The sprayer runs off a Solex battery, connected via a simple toggle and lighter plug setup. It delivers a consistent spray, essential for complete plant coverage, especially when you're dealing with hidden pests like budworms. These little green caterpillars hatch from eggs laid by moths, and they love hiding deep in the flower canopies. Often, the first signs of their presence are missing blooms or blossoms riddled with tiny holes. You might walk by a plant and wonder why it looks healthy but refuses to flower. That's their subtle sabotage. You won't always see the worms themselves, but look closely. Black flecks, their droppings, are a telltale clue. They're masters of camouflage, and without regular treatment, they can turn a vibrant garden into a dull, lifeless patch. For treatment, we use Bt, or Bacillus thuringiensis, a naturally occurring soil bacterium. It's organic, safe for pollinators, and specifically targets caterpillars. The beauty of Bt lies in its precision. It only affects the pests we want to eliminate. Early morning is the ideal time to spray, and that's exactly when we got started. While it's not as critical to spray at dawn with Bt compared to harsher sprays, it's still a best practice for plant health and effectiveness. When I approached our supertunias, I immediately saw the telltale damage. The blooms looked chewed, colorless, and lifeless in patches. Digging in deeper revealed the culprits hiding in plain sight. I even managed to spot one on camera, wriggling away beneath a half-eaten flower. It's always frustrating, but catching them in action gives a clear mission: saturate every inch of these plants to stop the cycle. Spraying properly means more than a quick pass over the top of your plants. It's about getting under the canopy, right where the worms hide. It's tempting to go for speed, but thoroughness wins this war. The wand on the sprayer is perfect for angling deep into the plants without damaging the delicate branches or flowers. And because Bt works when ingested, the more coverage, the better. A light mist won't cut it. This is full coverage warfare. With the first zone sprayed, I moved through the rest of the garden, hitting every patch of supertunias. Along the way, I couldn't help but appreciate the beauty of the flowers, even in the midst of pest control. Some areas, like our pink cashmere superbena, don't require spraying at all. They're remarkably resistant to most pests, which is why I love planting them in large stretches. It's a good reminder to balance high-maintenance beauties with low-maintenance survivors. Halfway through, it was time to refill the tank. The sprayer may be efficient, but 25 gallons goes quickly when you're doing a proper job. While heading to the hose to refill, I took a moment to show our new mailhouse project. It's a charming 6x6 shed that's going to match our flower shed with white siding and cedar shakes. Just a glimpse of what's coming next in the ongoing transformation of our garden spaces. Back to the spraying. With the tank full again and some extra bottles of Bt in hand, thanks to Aaron, we pushed forward. But then, the battery gave out, just 13% left, not enough to finish the job. So, while the battery recharged, I took the opportunity to check in on our corn and pumpkin patches, and what I found made all the effort worthwhile. The corn is at its peak. Golden silks turning brown, ears plump and firm, ambrosia bicolor corn never disappoints. Peeling back the husks revealed perfectly pollinated kernels running to the very top. You can tell a good ear when there's no gap at the end. This is the joy of home gardening, pulling an ear off the stalk, shucking it right in the field, and tasting fresh corn that's sweeter than anything you'll find at a store. Butter. Salt. That's all it needs. Of course, the corn isn't the only thing growing strong. Our pumpkin patch, despite a few challenges, is producing well. There's butternut squash nestled under the leaves, and varieties like hot chocolate, snowball, and Igor are starting to take shape. It hasn't been without setbacks. The soil was compacted more than I realized, likely from a lack of irrigation last year. I thought the tiller went deep enough, but I should have double-checked. Still, the plants are pushing through, even wilting slightly in the summer heat but recovering quickly with water. As I walked the rows, I saw color forming beautifully on many of the pumpkins. Speckled Hound and One Too Many are both showing off their vibrant patterns and unique textures. Each variety brings a new level of excitement, especially knowing we're growing them for our garden center. There's no set harvest quota, which removes a lot of pressure and makes the process even more rewarding. Back at the house, we picked several ears of corn for lunch, and our little one joined in, curious and full of questions. A small family moment, picking, shucking, and eating fresh corn right on the spot. The kind of moment that reminds you why this lifestyle is worth the effort. Even the tiny details, like removing silks or trying to convince a hesitant kid to taste sweet corn, make it special. After lunch, it was time to finish the spraying. We pulled the sprayer with the gator this time, definitely the smarter move for navigating larger areas. With everything fully charged and refilled, I made sure to hit every supertunia and superbell we'd missed, even those tucked away and less obvious places. In total, we used 45 gallons of BT spray. A heavy dose, but completely safe, and absolutely necessary. When it comes to budworms, skipping spots means starting over. We wrapped up the day by tackling one last pest problem, webworms in our crab apple trees. At first, I mistakenly thought they were tent caterpillars, but a closer look corrected that. Webworms tend to concentrate their silked tents at the tips of branches. They aren't as destructive, but they're unsightly and can weaken the plant over time. One tree had just a small colony. I grabbed the sprayer, broke the webbing open, and absolutely soaked it. Problem solved, hopefully in one shot. As I packed up for the day, the sense of satisfaction hit me. Everything had been sprayed thoroughly. The corn harvest had begun. The pumpkins were thriving despite their rocky start. And a few unexpected bugs had been dealt with swiftly. It's not glamorous work, but it's the real heart of gardening: attention, intention, and care. Every bloom, every fruit, every success, earned. Thanks for following along today. Even though spraying may not be the most thrilling task, it's part of what keeps the garden vibrant and healthy. For those who are also dealing with budworms, I hope this gave you insight and encouragement. And for those who aren't, lucky you. Either way, I'll see you in the next video. Happy gardening!